Anthony,
Yes, please.
how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. That people are not there. I was even wondering whether I'm using the right link.
Wanji?
I'm saying that people are not there. I was wondering whether I'm using the right link. I was alone and for some time and I was like, eh. So,
When you're doing the right thing, never worry.
yeah, it's like people are tired. We should finish these discussions today so that next week people take time to read.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been kind of tied up, busy up and down, eh?
Yeah, the other time I talked to you and you gave me a cold shoulder. I just knew you were very busy.
When was that?
The day you were in Kabali. When I called
I
you.
even didn't know I was going to sit for that test.
Sure.
I wasn't sure.
Hey, try
But
that.
at the
Mm.
last minute, we were also not able to travel. We were supposed to travel back that very day
Mm.
in the afternoon, like after lunch. So 7 was going to get me on road. But
Okay.
luckily we delayed and then we had to cancel that travel. That is how I was able to do that test. So we had to travel the next day because it was late.
You connect me. What did you do?
That one you asked me on the sides.
Are
But I do
people
more of
in?
livelihood activities. I'm more into livelihoods,
Hey.
integrated kind of.
But Lydian is not a danger to us. Hey, people. The traffic is coming.
No, people are joining.
I am here. Slowly, I've arrived.
Welcome.
How are how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Mm.
We are good, Lillian.
Okay. So,
Tabiseng Anna Moses. Wow. I'm seeing this name for the first time. Anna, are you there?
Sabisenga Anna Musala. This must be from Botswana, South Africa, I think. Botswana?
I don't know. I don't know whether she's joining us for the first time.
Musala, talk to us.
I'm trying. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
I'm not joining you guys for the first time. I don't know why it's your first time seeing me.
The
The name.
name has been on, and maybe you have not been critical, Viola.
Now, sorry, let me do this.
You're from South Africa?
Viola.
Yes.
Viola, is Doctor joining in today?
Say again.
Is Doctor joining today?
I've texted him. He hasn't responded, but he has seen my text.
Okay.
However, because he has to give us the discussion rights, but I'm going to call him shortly.
So
Okay.
do you mean we can present in his absence?
He's supposed to be part of it because he gives feedback.
Yes.
But I talked to him last evening
Mm.
and he didn't respond. And then again, I've texted him now. I'm just
It's
going to
your
call
job.
him.
It's
Mm,
your job to sweet talk him. Make sure he responds.
he will.
Viola, now issues to do with the coursework. I told you my problem when I joined. I was allocated in group 2, but after they had submitted their work is when they submitted their work before me giving my my registration numbers, and I missed out, and you said I was late. So how are we going to solve that?
Okay, for people who joined late when the work was already submitted, are supposed to present, be part of the group, and then normally what doctor does is he gives feedback on the presentations. And then that is when, and then we resubmit. So in the process of resubmitting is when we expect the people who missed out to be what? Included and the work resubmitted. That's how he always does it. Let me just find out if he's able to.
Okay.
Meanwhile, which group is ready to start with the presentation? Group 2, are you ready? I think group 1 communicated. They'll come in later a bit. So group 2, 3, we had 7 groups. Whichever group is ready, we can start.
Group 4 is ready.
Okay, I don't know whether we have the presentation right. Let me see. Wow. So I think I'll need I'm trying to reach out to doctor, is not picking. What do I do?
But you don't have the rights of projecting, not so?
No.
Give him 30 minutes. If he doesn't, then we have evidence that we are there and he didn't appear. So
Okay, let's hold on a bit as I keep trying. I think doctor is busy. Let's wait for some time. If not, we may have to create probably another link and then we just have a discussion.
Okay.
But
We shall wait, Viola. We shall wait. So we'll be online or we have to rejoin later?
no, we can be online for now, just to give some time in case he responds. But if not, if it's like 30 minutes, I think we'll have to create another link. Or in 20 minutes. Let's just give him some time because he's not picking up. At least he always picks up when I call. Probably he's busy.
Okay.
Viola. Hello, Viola.
Yes, Janet.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Has there been any updates on coursework on the portal?
No, I think we are all the same.
What is the same? The test we
Missing
did
marks for attendance. We only have marks for the test.
for that test. And then this one we want to do presentations. They were not marked yet, so they can't be uploaded.
No. That's why we are trying to wait for him because normally he gives feedback on presentations.
And then he
And,
awards marks also.
and then we resubmit, yes, based on his feedback, we submit and then he awards marks.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Members, I would like to have your suggestions. What do you think? Do we create another link and we go ahead with the discussions, or are we here?
Yes, we are here, Viola. But can't we use this class for presentation?
We are unable to share.
Oh, sorry.
We're unable to share, and I've tried reaching out to doctor. I think he's too busy, really. He's not picking up the phone. So the only option would be we create another link, have a discussion. Although the discussions really needed him because this is a coursework. Like we needed his feedback. Oh. So let me create a link and then I share to the. Someone is saying we should postpone. But I think this discussion will help us even in exams because we only have next week. If we do it now, we don't have to repeat it next week. Anthony, what do you think?
I think the discussion needs to be live with the lecturer. Because even if we record it, it won't carry much water.
Okay, let me listen to people's opinions.
Viola, I think
yes.
I was saying maybe maybe I don't know what other people think. Maybe you could reschedule this, and since today is Thursday, if we could fix still in this day, like as in the remaining 3 days in this very week, maybe in the evening, what like that. I don't know what other people think. It will also work.
Okay.
Yeah, Viola, thank you so
Yes.
much. My kind suggestion is we can go on with the discussion even in the absence of doctor. Probably today 2 groups or 3 discuss. Then in the next lecture, if he joins us willingly, other groups will join up there. Then in case we have any questions from today's discussions, we can note them down, then air them out during that time when he joins us, for him to give us that clarity. Since we are left with 1 week, the other week we shall really not have, that week of August, we shall not have any discussions.
No, we can't. We can't have it the other week. Actually, we only have next week. Me, I also think we should go ahead with the discussion. I really don't know. I think 2 of us are in agreement. The rest are suggesting we postponed.
I think we should go ahead with the discussion. That's my suggestion also.
Okay, let's go ahead with the discussion. We can create another link. Peter, do you mind creating for us a link? Peter Akwak, are you there?
Hey, Viola, yes, around.
Okay.
I'm using a phone. I don't think I can create a link.
Let
Yeah.
me see if I can do you one very fast.
I think the doctor has joined.
Doctor, you're welcome. You actually got us when we were trying to look for solution B because we are not able to share right here. So we're thinking of creating another link, but you just came in time as we were thinking around that. So you're welcome. Today we had planned to have discussions for the groups, and group 4 was already ready. So I take this chance to give it back to you, and then we can continue. Over to you, Doctor. Thank you. Okay, so we can continue. The doctor will chip in when he's ready, but so Donzo is presenting. Let me give you the sharing rights. And then Donzo is presenting. Yep.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. So we are member of group 4, and then we're supposed to present on the consultancy bidding process. So in this presentation, we'll be sharing with you the stages of the bidding process. We also will be presenting the common mistakes in the bidding process and also the strategy for success if you want to be successful in bidding for consultancy. And we use the Uganda National Road Authority as a case study for our work. Is this slide not moving? Okay. And they are the members of the group. So the outline of the presentation, as you can see, we will briefly share with you the project case study, and then we'll go through the 9 stages of the bidding process. We'll talk about the common mistakes in building, and then we have the strategy to improve bid success, and then we have key takeaways. So for the overview of the project, what we are looking at is the Uganda National Road Authority project, and that's an assignment that's supposed to be supervised between the Mubende to Kagadi road upgrade, and that's the 150-kilometer road upgrade. And then it is required to be from gravel to bitumen standards. And the project is for 36-month supervision. And the value of the project is in the tune of $4.2 million estimately. And the contract is awarded by the World Bank. And then we were looking at why is it important that we look at this particular case study. We chose a case study because it is not a theory, it's a real world case procurement process, and it also require a detailed call for proposal. So we feel that this could be the best case to present. So we are looking at the 9 stages of the bidding process. First, we talk about the identification of opportunities, and there where it starts from, where you, as a consultant, you need to identify opportunities. And then the second stage will be for you to interpret the TOR, the term of reference for the consultancy. And then after you understand the call for proposal, and then you are able to prepare your expression of interest. And then the fourth stage will be your development of the technical proposal, and then the financial proposal, and then you submit your proposals to the bidding committee. And then you are expected to have evaluation from the committee, and then if you are awarded, and then you go through negotiation, and then of course the contract is awarded to you. So, and then let's look at each of those stages in detail. So starting with the identification of the opportunities, we said for you to be able to identify opportunities, you need to monitor the different sites that are usually, the different portals that usually we advertise those opportunities. So it is important that you watch out for those opportunities. And one of the key things we said was you need to be proactive in scanning those opportunities instead of you be reactive. You have to watch out for them. And then the stage 2 in the identification of the opportunity is for you to better understand the term of reference. You have to make sure you understand in depth what the awarding company is wanting from you. And if you understand, then you are able to prepare your expression of interest in compliance with what they are asking for. You have to make sure you meet all of the requirements for the bid. Then the next stage is the proposal writing stage. And we said 80% of your commitment should be at this stage because it is at this stage that you are able to convince the company that you should be hired. So it's important. This stage is a very good stage for you to focus on. Another stage after that will be the financial proposal and the submission of the proposal. And we said you have to ensure that you also have a 20% commitment to this stage as well. And you should make sure your financial proposal and your technical proposal are in 2 separate envelopes. And then you are able to distinguish the different rates so that the financial proposal is very clear. And then we were looking at the evaluation process, how the scores are determined. Usually, the first stage is the administrative compliance. So in reviewing your bid, they want to see, first of all, whether you meet the different administrative requirements. Is your company registered? Are they compliant with tax payment and what have you? And then after that, before they will even go into technical evaluation. So as a consultant, you have to make sure you meet the administrative compliance, because even if your technical proposal is very good, if you don't meet the administrative compliance, you might not go through. So after the technical proposal, of course, you also need to spend a little time on the financial proposal, because that's another thing that they're going to look for. So usually is a quality cost-based evaluation that usually they will go through. And then after all of that, then the scores are combined, and then to see which of the company is best submitted the best proposal. We look at after that, if your score is higher, of course you'll be invited for negotiation with the company, and then at that negotiation point, you are discussing deliverables, you are discussing timing, and also you are discussing some technical detail in your proposal. And after that, of course, you go to the contract awarding stage, which is the 9th stage in our presentation. And then we also talk about the common mistakes. So usually, one of the things is that you have to be reactive you have to be instead of being proactive, people are usually reactive in scanning the opportunities. So you don't have time to write a very good proposal. So you have to be proactive. And then the second thing is that you have to make sure you have specialists that understand the technical detail of the TOR. So you don't just assume that you understand the detail of the TOR. So that's another thing we talk about. And then we talk about the EOR. You have to make sure you are not overstating your performance. You are saying exactly what you are capable of doing so that they are not evaluating you based on something that you are not capable of. And then, of course, we talk about the technical proposal. Don't copy and paste the methodology from the TOR. Make sure you are developing a technical proposal that makes sense to your organization. And then the financial proposal, usually people want to underprice the proposal because they want to win the contract. You should not be underpricing. Make sure your financial proposal is realistic. And at the submission stage, you have to make sure you submit on time. Don't do late submission. Don't submit unsealed financial proposal as well. For the negotiation, usually people are unprepared when they are discussing the details in their contract. So you have to make sure you are prepared to discuss your contract. And then the post-award mistakes is expert substitution. So usually people will use people's CV to win the bid. And after the awarding of the bid, of course, those experts are not available. And then they start to use other people that were not part of the submission. And we talk about 3 critical mistakes that are in the African context. One is the expert substitution, like I mentioned. The second one is the joint venture. So usually companies will say we want a local organization. So big company will use a local institution that they are not going to use at the end of the bidding process. So that's a mistake as well. And we'll talk about generic methodology. People use a generic methodology that are not specific to the contract that they are requesting for. And then, of course, we say to be successful, you make sure you have a structured bid management system where people are you always update your CVs, you have the bid calendar in place so that you are not firefighting when bids are up. You also have a deep client intelligence. You need to make sure you understand those that are putting out bids, what do they want. If you are going for World Bank bids, you have to understand what usually they look for. And you have to also separate proposal management from writing, of course, because there are people that should be focused on compliance tracking while other people are writing the proposal, because at least they're able to focus on making sure the proposal is compliant. The fourth one is the internal red team review. So usually senior experts are not on the writing team. They usually are away and then they want people to read the proposal. So senior experts should be part of the proposal writing. And then people should learn from debrief. And then, of course, there should be a long-term relationship between the team. So that's for the key takeaway, bidding is strategic and not administrative. You have to be strategic about it, not just making sure you submit proposal. You have to be strategic. You have to make sure you understand the TOR. You have to focus on the methodology section. And you have to make sure your financial proposal is realistic but competitive. And then the procedural compliance is something that you also have to make sure it is not negotiable. And we'll talk about systematic learning from the debrief with the team, and then ensure that you build a relationship with the companies that are sending out a bid. So thank you so much. And these are the references that we have for our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Donzo. Do you have any comments from our colleagues? I know Dr. may come in to give the general one after Pimosipa presented. So we give 2 minutes for any questions, any concerns, and as group one prepares, followed by group 2. Yes, John.
Thank you, Viola and Donzo. I'm kindly requesting Donzo to give more clarity on expression of interest. He had staged it as step 3 on the stages of bidding process. How different is an expression of interest from a technical proposal and a financial proposal? Thank you. Back and over to you.
Okay, Donzo, you note that. Let's take one more hand and then you respond at once. Yes, Musamali.
My question is it a one-man group or where are the members?
Okay, so over to you, Donzo. Those are the only hands I see raised up.
So to
So
the
you can
last question,
respond to that? Yeah.
to the last question, it is not a one-man group, it's a team of 5 people. I think some of the members might be on the call, but I'm just the presenter. So to the first question, the difference between the EOI and the technical and financial proposal, in my understanding, is you just submitting your organization profile to say, okay, this organization has this profile, and they would like to express their interest for this bid. Whereas at the technical proposal and financial proposal, you are providing more methodology and detail about how you intend to deliver on that contract. And then, of course, the financial proposal is the cost of you implementing your technical proposal. So that would be my answer to that. Thank you.
And then we have the last hand from Athian, actually.
Yes, Donzo and the team, good evening. Thank you, Donzo, for the nice presentation. My question is regarding the 9 stages of the proposal development. Can one stage be skipped? These 9 stages of bidding process. If I skip any of these, one of the stages, would there be a repercussion in my bidding process?
So in my experience, you could skip stage 3, which is preparing your UI, because there are some call for proposal that go straight into submitting technical and financial proposal. You don't have to do expression of interest. But the other stages, I think they are very important, because you cannot, of course, submit a technical proposal without you identifying the opportunity. And if you identify the opportunity, for you to be able to write a technical proposal, you have to interpret the TOR for that opportunity and understand it better. And then you then develop the technical proposal and then cost that technical proposal, which is stage 4 and stage 5. And you're not going to keep those proposals, you have to submit them. And of course, if you submit them, they have to be evaluated. And if you're awarded, there have to be a negotiation stage, and then, of course, awarding of contracts. So the only stage I think is likely to be skipped is stage 3, in my view. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's have the next group present. Group 1, are you ready? Ronald, are you there? So if group 1 is not ready, let's have the next group, group 2.
Well, let us we shall let the next group present. We shall present after. Still organizing something.
Okay. Group 2, are you there? Any group that is ready?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Let me just
we
set
have
up.
group 3.
Okay. So Dominic, the floor is yours. Over to you. So you have 15 minutes, but also
Okay.
if we can have at least two people present from a group, not just one person, since it's collective. Over to you, Dominic.
Yes. Good evening, colleagues.
Do you mind putting it in presentation mode?
Okay. Yeah. I hope it is clear now.
Yeah, that's better. Over.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is group 3, and I hope my colleagues are available. I will present, but where necessary, they will also chip in. So this is group 3, and it's the question is all about financial and technical reporting in consultancy. So the question says, critically examine the preparation of technical and financial reports in consultancy practice. Discuss the key components of a technical report, key components of a financial report, reporting standards, evidence required, accountability issues, and common challenges faced by consultants. Use practical examples to show how strong reporting improves client confidence and consultancy performance. So these are the group members. We have 6 members of group 3. So we are going to look at the introduction part of this presentation. So generally, consultancy is the process of offering professional advice, expert knowledge, and problem-solving support to individuals. This could be organizations, institutions, basically to improve effectiveness and achieve desired objectives of an individual, organization, or the institution. So consultancy is actually very, very important because it supports organizations with the expert solution, and also it explains the activities to be conducted, findings and recommendation. And it also shows use of funds. In fact, it talks about accountability issue. And if you have a very strong report, of course, it improves transparency and client trust. So technical report must have executive summary. This executive summary consists of purpose of consultancy. It states why assignment was conducted or why this assignment is needed. It also talks about major activities Basically, maybe could be meetings, could be field work, interviews, workshop. There are also key findings. Executive summary summarizes major issues identified. Also talks about the achievement, basically what you have accomplished during the assessment, and also recommendation. Basically, this is a summary, a very brief information that you can use to scan the entire document. So we have introduction part of it. That's the background of technical report. And this introduction consists of reason for the consultancy, why this consultancy is necessary. Maybe including some specific issues, challenges, opportunity that is required, that requires a professional support or an assessment. This introduction should also demonstrate problem being addressed. It must talk about issues that affect the organization, maybe program, specifically if maybe your evaluation is all about understanding the community. It must address the problem. And your consultancy assignment is all about understanding the organization context, information about the institution, how they work. Continuation. And under the background, also it should also demonstrate terms of reference, TOR, which explains the responsibilities of the consultant, what is actually expected out of the work, the scope, that is the boundary of the assignment, the time period required. Okay. Then the background must also have objectives of the assignment. It must demonstrate, it must show objectives of the assignment. Expected outcomes of the consultancy, basically to guide the direction of work and the evaluation of success. For example, a consultant evaluating health services in Juba may explain poor healthcare access as the reason for conducting the assessment. Technical report must have objectives. Like if you're conducting baseline survey, your objective will help to establish the current situation that you can use basically to see how you progress, perhaps with your implementation, or the impact that your implementation has so far achieved. So you should be able to measure. So meaning there should be a baseline which you're going to use as a yardstick to measure the impact or progress. Then it must also present the organizational capacity, the objective. For example, assessing organizational capacity could be your objective. Basically, looking at the strengths, weaknesses, system, resources of organization, basically to identify areas that require improvement. Your objective could be developing a strategic plan that supports effective management of organization. Then it could also be maybe training of staff, basically to strengthen the employees' knowledge, skills, and competence, so that their performance can be improved, and also service delivery can be enhanced. Then it could also be evaluating program performance to see how effective or efficient your program is. Then technical report must also have a component of methodology. Your methodology could be interviews, that is, of course, gathering detailed information from your stakeholders. Could be questionnaires, that is structured, information. Then focus group discussion, from opinion leaders. And then it could be observation and desk review. These are actually literature review, information that already there, could be reports, could be previous assessment, reports. Then your technical report must also have a component of findings and deliverables. That must, of course, explain strengths, weaknesses, and key issues. It must also demonstrate deliverables that may include like reports, plans, policies, and training. There must be evidence that supports decision making and accountability. Then we also have financial report component, because we talk about a technical report and a financial report as well. So financial report must have a budget summary that compares the planned versus actual, what you have, what you've planned, and what you have spent. So that's what we call PVA, budget versus actual. Then we have expenditure statement.
Dominic?
Yes, please.
The class president told me to be the timekeeper. You have spent now 11 minutes, you left 4 minutes actually. So be summarizing.
Okay, it's okay. I think there's an additional 1 minute which you have taken up. So thank you. Yes, financial report must have a component of expenditure expenditure statement that shows things like transport, accommodation, personnel, cost, Then supporting documents that you should present, like receipts, invoices, and also payment voucher. Variance analysis that explains overspending or saving. An explanation why you have spent more or why you have spent less than there is saving. So financial report must also have standard. Reporting standard must be considered, like accuracy. Your information must be very correct. A report must be submitted. Be transparency, meaning you have to disclose facts openly. And then you need to be very objective and ethical. We use global consultant services, that is ISO, which focuses on transparency, effectiveness, and mutual understanding throughout the project life cycle. Then like IFRS, which is the International Financial Reporting Standard. This is actually very, very important. It provides principles-based flexibility, and also GAAP, which stands for General Accepted Account Principles. So these are standards which are very important. As a consultant, you need to consider. So evidence required. You need to have technical evidence like attendance, seats, photos, reports. You must also have financial evidence like receipts, vouchers, bank statement. You also need to have evidence that strengthens credibility and accountability. There are challenges that are being faced by consultants, such as poor documentation that weakens reporting, limited time and budget constraint may also affect quality, insecurity, and how participation hinder fieldwork. If at all there is insecurity, you may not be able to reach access other locations. Political interference also may affect objectivity. For example, maybe if you are directed by a politician to a very specific area, which may not be within the scope of your assignment. Then benefits of strong reporting builds client confidence and trust, improves decision-making through evidence, enhance consultants' reputation and future contracts. So there is a possibility of giving you another contract if you're able to have good reputation. And then our conclusion here is technical and financial reporting promote accountability. Good reporting improves consultancy effectiveness. When you have good reports, then you become so effective, meaning you are able to achieve your target and also deliver a good result. Professional standards strengthen performance and trust. You have to act professionally in your assignment. So we have a quote: "What gets measured gets managed." This is by Peter Drucker. So this means proper financial and technical reporting helps consultants track progress, accountability, and performance. So these are our references. You can take your own time to also search and find more information. Otherwise, thank you very much, colleagues, for listening. I wish you all the best. If there is any question, you can ask. You're free to ask, and also have my colleagues, I think, who will also come in to respond. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you, Dominic. We will have only 1 minute of concerns. But however, I emphasize that we keep time because we really need to have more groups present at the end of the day. So when we consume and get into another person's time, so we are cheating. So let's try to keep time. So any concerns for group, that was group 2, group 3? There is no hand up. So the next group, please prepare. If we don't have any hand, let's have the next group.
Yes, good evening, class. Good evening, doctor. I'm Isaac, and I'm going to present to you group 2. I'm just sharing my screen. I would just like to confirm if members are actually able to see my screen.
Yes, it's very clear.
So good evening once again. This is group 2, and we were actually tasked to develop a training of trainers program for a public institution. And these are our group members. We are six people. And looking at the training of trainers, you realize that it is an approach actually that is used by people who are professional to build the capacity of an institution so that it can have a system that is actually sustainable, in that even when the people are not there who started it, it can really move to the next generations. And as we were tasked to look into the training of trainers framework for a public institution, we looked into Bulamu Healthcare Uganda, which whose mandate is to strengthen maternal, newborn, and child health through sustainable cascade training. So we are going to look at the meaning of some of these terms in the next slide. Starting with the key definitions, since we are looking at training of trainers and we are developing a framework, then it is key to know who is a master trainer. And this person is actually a person who has very much experience in this field, and they have actually mastered the art of andragogy. Andragogy is adult learning. I believe maybe someone could have ever seen the word andragogy, but they could have not known the meaning. It's just adult learning. And also cascade training. Since we are consultants, we want to develop something that is going to last for years and years. We are looking at cascade training in that a way. We train a person, that person trains another person, that other person trains another person. So realize that there are very many ways of knowledge transfer from one person to another. And looking into sustainability, we already say that we are focusing on creating a framework that is going to last long and also help the society. And looking at things like the facilitation, you realize that strong facilitation skills are actually essential for learners, and it is actually key in a framework. And what is the main consultancy issue that we are looking at and that we are developing for Bulamu? As consultants, we are saying that we have to transfer these complex systems and not just data, because we want that when we leave, this framework is actually going to be able to help the even people who are going to come ahead of us. And therefore, they will not depend on any external advisors or external experts to advise them, because this framework is actually going to be helping them as they are moving on. And like we said about the cascading of the training in such a way that if we train one person, this person should actually be able to train another person. That is what we intend for Bulamu Healthcare Uganda, as we are providing consultancy services for their training of trainers framework. Now, looking into this framework, we are considering Bulamu to have 4 different elements and how they are going to apply the training of trainers framework, and then what could be the targets that should actually be achieved to test if this framework will actually work. Starting with the talent of and resources, you realize that Bulamu Healthcare has already workers, but then if we come into this framework, we look into selecting capable clinical participants. You realize that if you're training trainers, you need people who are capable, who are technical, who have experience to do this. And this framework should therefore be able to accommodate such individuals. And when we look into these target people, Bulamu Healthcare should be able to get good midwives and also good VHT coordinators. Then you realize that this framework that we are providing to Bulamu should actually be aligned with the Ministry of Health goals. And therefore, Bulamu Healthcare Uganda should provide services in line with the Ministry of Health goals, and that is through providing antenatal and self-delivery targets. And more of the framework, we are expecting the good implementation of a framework, because if you have the talent and then you've aligned it, then that means that you have to implement this framework. And how is Bulamu supposed to implement it? It is through providing quality delivery to the trainers, and we shall only know that when 70% of these people have the minimum facilitation score. So if they are able to achieve that, then this framework will actually have been a success for Bulamu Healthcare Uganda. And then looking at the nature the nurture, you realize that after having good talent, after having the alignment of the resources, and then also they have implemented, then these people need to be nurtured so that they are able to actually provide the best services. Now, how are they going to apply this? We are looking into Bulemu Healthcare Uganda having a training needs assessment, because you cannot just come and you train people when you don't know what they really require. And we are also advising Bulemu Healthcare to have a good curriculum design where they will have good structured manuals plus any interactive modeling and evaluation tools. So we expect the junior staff plus their senior staff to work together and hand in hand to achieve the objectives of the organizations, and we also expect them to have good dashboard systems to improve themselves as an organization. So as part of the consultancy skills that we are providing to these people is that the framework that we are giving them is able to cater for the good curriculum design and also the interactive modeling plus the training needs assessment. A live example targeting Bulemu Healthcare specifically, I would like to confirm if I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Hello. Okay. Looking into a practical example, for example, when you look into the clinical mentors who are actually able to provide such services and also cascading the trainings, you realize that we have many mothers who need such services. So Bulemu Healthcare can involve much more through training these systems, the VHTs, and providing healthcare, plus the good clinical mentors who are able to provide training to other people in the society. So they can implement such in Wachiso, in Luwero, in PG, and Hoima districts, because these are some of the areas which are facing very, very much problems when it comes to maternal health care. Of course, this framework will have challenges, because when you look into the talent plus the implementation plus the alignment, you realize that when teaching different people of communities, you'll have things like language barriers, plus also limited funding, and you cannot take away that you don't have money. And you realize that there are even different levels of change. When you look at Kubla's model, you realize that accepting change is actually something difficult. So people will become depressed, they get a lot of anger, but in the end, they will accept and then move on. So changing is actually very hard, and this framework actually will also be presented with such opportunities, but then it is actually the way to go. Because if you use things like pictorial aids and you're able to teach, therefore it will actually be nice to the trainers whom you're training, plus also the organization itself. Looking at the key lessons that Bulemu Healthcare and us can actually pick from exercise is that we need a lot of hands-on experience, because if you're training trainers, you should be able to have hands-on practice, and therefore Bulemu Healthcare should plan on having a good hands-on practice for all the trainers that they are giving these services, plus the presence of the different mentors in these different fields, because if these people are around, therefore they are able to cascade the training to different people. So therefore the framework should be that is being designed. After the mentors mentoring the trainers, they should be around for like 3 to 6 months so that they can monitor the people they have trained to see if they are actually obedient to the guidelines that have been provided to them. And of course, to have a good feel of this framework, there should actually be mobile support. You realize that we are moving into an era of technology, and therefore Bulamu should be able to also go digital, plus having all the data in one place to improve its access, and also enabling different spheres to work together. So we are advising Bulamu Healthcare to have this in place so that they can actually also be able to achieve the good maternal health care that they are actually providing, plus also training the trainers that they intend to provide such services to the community. So we realize that the training of trainers programs focus actually on developing people in that they cannot depend on other external areas, but then they are able to sustain themselves and make decisions that are able to impact their organizations. And our final quote from Momina and Pinda, 2019, is that a consultant does not simply deliver a workshop, they design a self-sustaining system in such a way that if they go away, then their system will keep on running because of the good service that they will have rendered. So that was our presentation as Group 2. I would like to thank you so much. Over to you, Viola.
Thank you so much, Group 2. Yes, Rachel?
We still have some time as Group 2. I just have a small addition because I'm also in Group 2. All in all, what we have provided is an operation guide and a team framework of a TOT. So as you're coming up with a TOT, we have to know who is being trained, how they will be taught, how they will cascade the knowledge, and who and how success will be measured. That is what I wanted to add on what my colleague has said. It is who is being trained, how they will be taught, how they will cascade the knowledge, and how success will be measured. Thank you.
Okay, that was a good one from Group 2, and thanks for keeping time. So any questions to Group 2 in 1 minute or two as the next group prepares to come in? Do you have any questions for Group 2? There is no hand. Okay. So which group is this? 7. Am I right?
Yes, please.
Okay, please go ahead. Over to you.
Yeah, this
But
group 7.
presentation mode, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Over to
This group 7, the group members are listed as below: Shemeri Margaret, Oka, I, the speaker, am Somali, Mbava's Janet Nungu. And the question was to critically examine the role of a professional consultant, CV, and a policy brief in consultancy practice. So in our introductory part, we have consultancy as among the fast growing professional domains, of course, in the global economy, to provide, of course, advice in expert mode and strategic guidance to governments, NGO, and any other institutions. Of course, the two documents, the consultancy is a primary marketing document presenting qualifications and above all, an impact to the organization or government or any strategic guidance. The brief policy brief translates the research and evidence into concise, actionable, and guidance for the decision makers. Of course, as we know, the decision makers have no time, so the policy brief must have some information that not only is precise, concise, but also understandable in the language they must perceive most and because they don't have time and sometimes they are not technical enough. So it should be digested as possible. And therefore, should be, of course, there are three core messages: what the consultant knows, of course, what the consultant has done, and what value the consultant can add. Of course, why it matters. The is used in multilateral agencies via standardized formats. Of course, the P11 that's known and other templates which are used in procurement. Also assessed by technical evaluation committees against terms of reference, and standardization can disadvantage capable local consultants with strong field expertise but limited exposure to international systems. Of course, these are the key elements in the CV, and I think everyone is privy about this because in one way or another we have applied for jobs. So, but these are the key elements. The professional profile, of course, sentence branding, answering why should the client hire this consultant. Of course, to also the education and qualifications, the degree certifications listed in reverse and in chronological order. The order matters a lot because sometimes those vetting, they have no time, so it should be chronological enough that it is made simpler enough. Of course, the professional experience, the employer, the title, the duration, and mostly quantifiable achievements, not just task lists, and consulting assignments in form of time-bound projects by the client, sector, scope, deliverables, and measurable outcomes. Also, publication and research, of course, reports, manuals, leadership cited in, of course, an APA style, which is the well-known. The core skills, technical, like here we have the GIS, the financial modeling, consulting, of course, facilitation, proposal writing, and languages. Because it's also a very rich aspect. The achievements and awards, normal recognition, professional leadership, tutorial or peer reviews, roles, and referees. These must be mainly professionals, not relatives, but person, if contacted, they have prior consent of, they have a pen picture of who you are and they can draw you very well and recommend you, refer you, and talk about who you are, not in friendly terms, but in professional matters. And then, of course, the policy brief it translates evidence into decision-ready guidance focused on presenting research-based evidence, clear actionable recommendations written for policymakers and constituents, not for scholarly audiences. As I said, some are not technical enough, so the language must be as granular as possible, in simple terms as possible. Of course, the function, it has 5 core functions: to define the problem, present the evidence, analyze policy options, recommend action, and inform implementation. Then, of course, also the key elements in the policy brief document. We have the executive summary, the problem statement, evidence and analysis, of course, options, recommendations, and then implementation. Application in Uganda's public sector, of course, the scoping was according to our country. Of course, Minister of Health, engage many technical assistance and evaluation in the areas such as inventory, tourism, infrastructure improvement. Of course, a CV becomes a key evaluation instrument. Procurement committees assess alignment between prior alignments and terms of reference. Policy brief in practice is translate technical evaluation, as I hinted before, findings into decision-ready outputs for senior officials. For example, an evaluation of the health service delivery under the Uganda Health Sector Development Plan can be condensed into a brief lightening system gaps aligned to Ministry of Health planning and budgeting cycles. Of course, application across institutions, international agencies, NGOs, and civil society, also in academic and research institutions. Challenges, of course, inflation and misrepresentation, generic versus tailored. As you know, generic, they limit you a lot, and or at least the tailored can be used more. Then keeping CVs current, of course, always updating in the current trends, some of the challenges. Then challenges in developing the policy brief, simplification dilemma, as I said, accessible language skills and article to make sure that person understands, a strategy understands. It is sometimes a dilemma. You can have something technical, but the dilemma is you have to go. Sometimes you lack words because there are some technical things that cannot be explained in the simpler terms. So it becomes a dilemma. Evidence and data limitations, and then political sensitivity. You are FDC, but you're going to present someone NRM, but you have to talk facts. Then limited policy impacts. Of course, impact depends on evidence quality, political concept, context, research, policymaker, relationships, and communication, not technical excellence alone. Then there are also ethical considerations. The model is to serve their clients with integrity and competency and maintain objectivity and impartiality in all professional engagements. This is the code of professional conduct. CV ethics, of course, honesty, accuracy, transparency in representing qualifications and experience. You must represent who you are. Then the policy brief ethics, of course, the intellectual rigor, disclosure limitations, conflict of interest. You have a wife in a certain organization, then you have to present the same things. Then evidence-based, not advocacy-driven analysis. Janet, can you conclude if you're there? Janet? Janet and Maggie, one of you can conclude.
Thank you so much. As we conclude, a CV is one of the most important documents when it comes to a consultant. So it must be accurate, tailored, of course, to a specific assignment in case they've been given any terms of reference. It's also a primary tool for bridging, like showing that you're able to implement the work. Of course, it reflects the technical skills, the intellectual skills, all act as an evidence to like a basis of value for the clients that you're going to serve. And also clarity in communication is very important when it comes to the CV, such that the clients you're going to serve are able to get much more information from the details or the content that you'd have availed in the document. That's how I'm able to conclude. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And the technical, of course, the key takeaway is technical accuracy alone is not enough. Clarity of communication and contextual adaptation will determine the real world influence of whether you will get that job or not. These are the references. Thank you. Viola, back to you.
Thank you, group 7. However, I think I have a comment to your group. The registration numbers, please include, don't just put only the names. Include the registration number, and then I don't know that I understood your question very well, but Doctor will complement this. In your question, there is prepare a sample consultant CV structure and a sample policy brief. Maybe I missed that. I thought I would see a sample of a CV. Probably I missed it, I don't know. So that is my comment to group 7. Thank you. Any other comment as we move to the next group? Yes, Samuel.
Yes, thank you so much. The question for group 7 was really very good. I was expecting them to discuss more about CV tools so that the team can best understand it also, rather than only giving us the definitions and a few hints of it. Because we needed to know, all the consultants in the house must know how vital CV is when they're preparing their proposal, when they're preparing their bids and all that to win certain projects for them to go and participate as consultants. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that was the only hand we had. So, Anthony, do you want to respond to that as we have the next group?
I think about the sample. Of course, we are limited by slides. Remember, we are asked to have only 9 to 12 slides, but in the Word document, everything is included. So we couldn't we couldn't present everything because it is a PowerPoint and not a power paragraph.
Okay, it's a learning point. Let's see from other groups who have similar questions, whether they're able to show us. However, you can still use another document to show that. Yes, which group is group 1?
Group 5.
Ronald, over to you.
Hello.
I don't know whether you're able to see my screen.
Let me first stop mine.
So, yeah.
Group 5. Hello.
Who is presenting? I'm seeing 2 groups. It's like I'm seeing 2 different. There is group 1 and then group what?
Okay, group 5.
Okay, let's have group 5 and then 1. Then 1 follows after this one.
Thank you.
This is 5, right?
Yes, please.
5 by comma cage. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
as you continue, please read for us your question so that people understand what you're presenting.
Yes,
Over
thank
to
you. Thank you. Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening.
Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening, Dr. Komakit.
Good evening.
I am not a doctor. Thank you, colleagues. Doctor is only Dr. Tukeu is online. I'm not a doctor. I'm a professional development worker. Our question concerns assessing the consultancy proposal and outputs, and we looked critically to discussion of evaluation criteria, marking areas, and assessment matrices for consultancy practices. And the group 5 members, we are 6. We are 6 in numbers. We have Ms. Kenyera Amos, myself, Madame Luke Pasca, Kurut Christine, Joan Priscilla, and Joseph Julius Baleronda. Colleagues, are you available? You say hi.
Hi.
Yes, as colleagues wait to respond, our question, we looked at it, and in this area, we looked at why a rigorous assessment are important for us to have a non-negotiable consultancy. So we looked at 70% of minimum technical score threshold for quality cost-based selection standard, and the evaluation protects organization from poor performance, misuse of resources, and weak output. In the areas, we have 3 core areas. One, we look at the aspect of without assessment, and under without assessment, we have the cost overrun, poor deliverables, assignment failure, And then with structured criteria, which looks at the transparency, accountability, and the value for money where the process to take place. Then the best practices were quality cost-based selection, weighing up to 70% of technical proposal, the finance proposal taking 30%. And then when we are doing the critical analysis, we looked at 2 pillars of consultancy assessment. And the 2 pillars are the proposal assessment and then the output assessment. Under the proposal assessment, we looked at about 5 areas that we summarize as a team to evaluate the bids before the contract is awarded. And we are supposed to also compare proposals using the terms of reference aligned criteria. We are supposed as well to apply the weighted score or objectivity other than the subjectivity aspect of the work. Then we are supposed to ensure value for money and procurement integrity in this aspect, and then eliminate non-compliant and weak bid earlier. And when we looked at the output assessment, there are core areas that the team we can analyze for us to come up with this presentation. Looked at the deliverables throughout the assessment. Then we are supposed to verify adherence to agreed methodology and standards that are required for us to carry on with the assignment. Then assess credibility and accuracy and then the actionability of the process. Then return substandard drafts for revision rather than accepting them during the process. And we look at building accountability and continuous improvement. As Group 5, we underscore the technical responsiveness in these areas when we look at the understanding the terms of reference. Technical responsiveness and then the understanding the terms of reference. So when we look at the technical responsiveness, we disqualify proposals that materially fail to comply with the terms of reference requirement. And we also looked at we should require technical proposal, finance proposal, work plans, CVs, as my colleagues have just said it, and then the supporting document for it to qualify. And then we got again is mechanical gatekeeping, where we looked at distinguished materials, non-compliance from minor omissions. The key documents that are required must be present, and the balanced procedural rigor with substantive quality to protect competition. And when somebody is understanding the terms of the reference, you are required to be able to write proposals that demonstrate genuine contextual insights, not the terms of reference being paraphrased. And then we are required also to assess appreciation of assignment purpose, stakeholders, the constraint, and then the local dynamics when you're doing that. Then we need also to know that poor terms of reference understanding is the single most reliable predictor of assignment failure. And we looked at we should require specific contextual examples, like for instance, penalize generics or template responsive heavily. So when we look at the methodology and the work plan for the process to take place, we looked at as a team the methodology weighing up to 40%, because we are supposed to give the rating, and then and the work plan credibility. So under the methodology for it to weigh up to 40%, we look at the logical flow, the problem, data analysis, recommendation must connect clearly for it to be properly scored. Then we look at the specific rigor, where we look at the aspect of sampling, data collection methods, analytical framework must be also sound. Then the innovative fitness of the document should be have the digital tool, mixed methods, and if genuine fit for purpose of the assessment. Then the practicability test. We look at sophisticated but workable methodologies must be scored down. Then the work plan and credibility checks looks at the aspect of logical sequencing, where in this aspect we see activities that must build coherently, not arbitrary list of tasks. And realistic timelines for the assignment. We reject the implausible, compressed, or unnecessarily prolonged schedules other than the short-term schedules which are realistic for this assignment. Look at the milestone clarity. In this aspect, we looked at inception, and then the validation must be anchored to the dates that are required. Then the methodology match. is the methodology, is it expensive field work if it is proposed, or timeline must be reflected in line with the commitment. Then the teamwork, the team competence, and then the relevant experience that are required for the evaluation team to carry on the exercise. We look at the aspect of assess capability, not credentials. For instance, now we underscore example, whether to examine whether each team member can actually execute the assignment, not just whether their CV looks impressive on paper, but they cannot deliver. Then we look at the quality of experience over quantity. This must favor experience that is directly favorable, comparable in sector, methodology scale, and then the geography over a long or unrelated track record. And we looked at the aspect of the reward complementary skills. When we are looking at the rewards, the assignment spanning technical and policy dimensions are requires a team with diverse, non-overlapping expertise, not stuck with similar profiles. Then avoid systematic exclusion. In the systematic exclusion, we look at assess experience at firm and individual level to avoid disadvantage and advantaging newer firms highly experienced personnel. As group 5, we looked at the financial realism and then cost effectiveness, where quality cost-based selection weighting, technical proposal 7%, the financial 30%, and then never select price alone, then the PPDA best practices. So in this aspect, we looked at the demand detailed breakdowns. So the cost quality weighting requires the demand technical breakdowns, where we emphasize that the budget must have the items professional fees, field costs by locations, logistics, reported production, and then the contingencies, which aggregates figures, height, and certainty. Then scrutinize outliers both ways, for the consultant aspect and then the client. Unusual low budget signals, omissions, or undercosting, inflated budget signals in inefficiency, but warrant careful investigation. Then we are supposed to apply quality cost-based selection rigorously, while weight technical quality between 7 to 80%, then the well-documented risk of low-cost proposals delivering poor outcomes. We justifies this structure. So as group 5 members, we saw, sorry for that. Then the quality report and then originality. The report quality, what do we demand? Does it answer the questions that assignment was commissioned to address? And then data must support analysis must support conclusion, and then conclusion must drive recommendations. Then embed reports quality standards in contracts. We'll look at the aspect of structure, citation, length, and then the data requirements. Then return substandard drafts, cost of revision falls on the consultant. Then they look at the originality. These are what to screen for. Look at the aspect of output must add intellectual value, not visible before the assignment began. We reject a conclusion that merely restate what stakeholders already knew other than what they ought to do. Then actively screen for plagiarism and recycle recommendation for prior reports, then reward innovative frameworks, visualization, and then analytical tools genuinely fit for the context. Then the ethical compliance and the presentation quality, we looked at, we are supposed to obtain informed consent to protect respondent data with documented data management procedures, where we declare all conflicts of interest in inception report, and be decisive on the act of decisively on ethical breaches without payment, require revision or report to professional bodies, and tolerating lapses, even minor ones, to normalize low standards across the consultancy market. Here, we looked at we are supposed to specify standards in terms of reference, assess systematically, and then impose revision on at consultancy cost. So the specification at standard in the TOR, we look at the set, we are supposed to set minimum standards for reports, then formatting referencing styles, and then using division before the assignment begins. And when we assess this is the systematic experience, look at examining lead headings, language precision, grammar, citation completeness, and then the quality of charts and tables against the agreed standard. Then we enforce revision at consultancy cost. The presentation failure must be correctly before final acceptance. The cost revision falls under the consultant, not the client. Then the strengths, weaknesses, and practical challenges. The strength, we look at the structured metrics, ensures consistency and comparability across the evaluators. And then we look at, we are supposed to have documented scoring, building accountability in procurement, and the quality cost-based selection, weighing guards against race to bottom on price. Then clear criteria set professional benchmark for consultants. Then they look at the weaknesses, the major weaknesses that we thought of talking about was standardization limits, flexibility, and contextual judgment for the work. And poor design criteria missed qualitative, and then quality like creativity, other than just being doing the work, but it must be creative and in their doing with assignment. And we rigid template encourages writing to metrics rather than innovation. And we look at the aspects of excessive reliance on academic credentials over this field experience. And the major challenge, we look at 4 major challenges that are faced. The evaluator subjectively remains common difference. Readers score differently. And corruption and undue influence distort outcomes in weak institutional settings. And selecting the cheapest proposal remains a persistent institutional temptation to select the best practice. And poor draft terms of reference create ambiguity that undermines evaluation fairness. Then the sample consultancy proposal marking guide. As a team, we look at pass marks B70, total 90 points, and then normalization to 10 to make it 100%. So the 4 areas that we found was good for us to mark, underscoring terms of reference, and the technical methodology, experience, and the team competence. So under the terms, understanding TOR, looked at 3 areas: the purpose and objectives, 3 points; evaluation objectives, 8; strategy and subject knowledge, 4 points; and the technical methodology carries more marks. Now we look at the methodology fit, should be 10 points; data management, 5; phase approach, 5; change management, 5; then the quality assurance plan, 5; and the timelines, 5. Then experience, we looked at mixed method evaluation, which should have 5 points; the score track record, 5 points; lead assignment plus 3, that's 5; then field knowledge, 5; and the final, the team competence. Team leader qualification must have 5 points; then team diversification skills, 5; and then the valid references, 5. So then the standards we looked at that we must hold: apply the quality cost-based standards rigorously, then enforce ethical standards, and then set standards before the work starts. So when you're applying the quality cost-based selection rigorously, you need to weigh the technical quality at up to 70%. Never let price pressure override the competence assessment. And we look at we should build the checkpoints into contracts, act decisively on breaches, and then tolerance to normalize poor practices. Then the best standards before the work starts, we look at to embed report requirements, formatting, and quality benchmarks in the terms of reference, not afterthoughts. Then finally, we looked at well-designed assessment system promote professionalism, ethical compliance, and responsible utilization of resources, contributing to sustainable development outcomes in Uganda and beyond. This is what Group 5 did, and the colleagues on call for any, I welcome you for any addition. Thank you. Yes, Amos and colleagues on calls, maybe some addition before colleagues ask us any other question or supplement.
Well, thank you so much, Tim. Mr. Dennis, thank you so much for that. Yeah, you can leave it. You can leave the slide on under assessment metrics, but Colleagues, I must say what we have been discussing here is just basically a few tools that we usually use when assessing the consultancy's proposal. I will only re-echo that, and then I mention some of the few tools where they talk of that discussions of the evaluation criteria, where we discuss on the marking areas that we should have to emphasize our level of effort. Then we have to assess the matrices of the consultancy practices. So just for you to take a point to note, under marking areas, what are the core areas that you're supposed to touch base before we reach into that? This the technical responsiveness and understanding of TOR. You need to understand that very well. Then methodology and the working plan. If you see on those slides, they are the most aiding parts. Then the team competency and relevant experiences. I'm just giving you the out points that you should have to note them, and you take it as a take point out of these slides. The financial proposal, that financial release and the cost effectiveness, those are the things that you have to ensure you coalesce in seeing the consultancy's proposal. Sometimes you may end up hiring a consultant when it's actually way higher than your budget. Then the report quality, and then also emphasize on the originality of the report. Does it come from that consultant that you have hired? And then look at the quality of it. Does it touch base the things that we have discussed, like the way Komake just talked about? Then there is this ethical compliance, and
Group
then the
5, your time
presentation
is up.
quality. Our
Your
time
time
is
is
up.
up.
Anyway, yes, thank you so much, class president. I was just only giving up the point on top that we have to take it back home. Otherwise, thank you, team. Under the assessment matrix, we have already seen it. I will not go any further onto that, but it has been a great presentation from Komakech. In case you have another question, maybe I'll respond to that now based on what has been discussed. Let me open the floor for the questions. I'll take the opportunity to answer.
Thank you. Colleagues, any supplement or maybe some comment for us?
So we don't have any more hands up. Thank you so much, Group 5. As the next group prepares, members, you'll bear with us. We have 2 groups left, Group 1 and Group 6. However, the timekeeper was biased on Group 5. I didn't know he was a member. They spent a lot of time, conflict of interest. So over to you, Group 1.
Good evening.
I manage time, Viola.
Okay. Good evening, colleagues.
Good
This is
evening,
Group
Ronald.
1.
Please put it on presentation mode.
It's not on presentation.
No.
Oh. Just a second.
Just start near your speaker there.
The slide show.
Yes.
Oh. There?
Where?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll first start by reading the question. I think those minutes should not be counted. Okay. Ours is about the inception report, and the question says, using a consultancy assignment of your choice, develop and discuss a professional inception report, and your answer explain the purpose, components, importance, and practical use of an inception report in consultancy work. And your group should include a sample structure of an inception report and show how it guides the successful implementation of a consultancy assignment. So our consultancy, as you can see from my screen, it was a consultancy. These things are blocking my consultancy for farmer recruitment and capacity building services. We were responding to a terms of reference by Nile Fresh Produce International Limited, SNV, and Dutch Fund for Climate and Development. That was what we were responding to. And these are the group members. were 6. Viola, myself, Alfred, Dorothy, Godfrey, and Charles Mugisha. So let me just lift this. I don't know where to put it. So what is an inception report? So the definition is an inception report is a document written by the consultant confirming their understanding of the assignment. So it covers methodology, work plan, deliverables, stakeholder expectations, and timing. So it's always the first deliverable submitted a few weeks into the assignment before heavy implementation begins. When I put this thing on how they call it, presentation mode, somehow these Zoom things cover my screen and I don't. Okay. And the core purpose is it confirms mutual understanding of the terms of references, refines methodology, and agrees on the way forward with the client. So the instinct, we got a quote from Cato 2025, says the instinct is to dive into solutions. However, seasoned consultants will think of an inception report first because it is the project's roadmap. Then the purpose of an inception report, because we're tailoring our presentation based on our response to the consultants we were doing. So the first purpose is always to confirm understanding. So it demonstrates the consultant has understood the terms of reference and is ready to execute. For example, we're aligning what the consultant wanted, what the farm wanted, Nile Fresh Produce. They wanted to align farmer recruitment objectives with international produce standards. Then also the purpose of an inception report is a detailed work plan because it provides a timeline, activities, target audience. So you ensure that the right categories of farmers are recruited for what the Nile Fresh Produce, what they need. Then also it helps in risk and resource identification. So this flags potential challenges, logistics, farmer engagement, whatever challenge you will encounter, you will put it there highlight it in the inception report. And you also show you set the resource demands before implementing, okay? And if the firm that you are responding the terms of reference agrees to your inception report, then you can go forward and implement. Then evaluation framework. So it sets up a framework to align activities with success metrics before implementation kicks off. So what we will use to measure success? All those things you as you're responding to the terms of reference, what you'll use to measure success in this, you'll use this metric to identify. You'll show it in the inception report. Then the key components of an inception report. One we are looking at is you have to have a title and introduction. The assignment name, the client, the consultant team, and the core expertise. Then 2, the background and context. So it introduces the client organizations and consultancy firm, linking to their core objectives. Then the 3rd component is the objectives, the overall goal. For us here, the overall goal was to strengthen Nile Fresh Produce ability to recruit, onboard, and build smallholder farmer capacity. And then also you'll have the specific objectives there developed from the general objective. Then the scope of work, all the activities the client wants achieved, recruitment, onboarding, capacity building, with the consultant's understanding of context. Then 5, the 5th component is methodology. Methodology here, we are looking at the data collection methods, analysis approach. How are you going to analyze the data? Okay. Evaluation questions, the sampling and conceptual frameworks. I think since most of you are writing your final proposals, I think these terms are not new to you. The sampling frameworks and the what? And the conceptual frameworks. Then the team structure. The consultants, experts, the HR manager, lead consultant, field coordinators, all those. So how you are going to structure the team that is going to do this work. You all put it in your consultancy, in your inception report. Then the other part of sorry, just a second. The other part of the key components is the work plan. Usually, the first timeline, the milestones, deliverables. So no contract is always approved without a clear roadmap. Let us not be like the MPG, the MPG expressway being built, whereby everything is being changed in the middle and they have to fire people. It's because there was no work plan, the deliverables were not lined up. In project management, always a Gantt chart is always preferred to use, although there are other methods of showing a work plan. So then the other is a reporting mechanism. The structured communication plan defining when, how, and to whom reports are submitted to ensure transparency. Then in the another component is risks and mitigation. You anticipate risks. There are always the high risks, how you deal with the high risks, how you deal with the low risks. Whichever risk you'll meet, whether when you do the SWOT analysis or the PESTOL, you must show it in your inception report. Then the cross-cutting issues. Like in ours here, the cross-cutting issues were the gender and social inclusion, environmental compliance, ethical, and the Dutch Fund climate and development compliance embedded in all activities, because they had their own, the Dutch Fund had their own objectives, and they had their own things you had to comply to as you're doing this project. So we looked into that also. Then the budget and payment schedule. So overall resource budget with phased payments typically structured as maybe 20%, 40%, 40%, until 100 upon completion of milestones. So you'll find that maybe upon some organization will tell you upon delivery of the inception report and it's approved, they pay you maybe 20%. Then when you deliver maybe the first report, the initial report, and then they pay you 40%. Then after the final report and everything has been accepted, they pay you the rest, the balance. Then we have the adjustments to proposals. So it reflects real-world learning, prevents scope creep, and manages client expectations as new information emerges. So you also show how you'll adjust to the proposal, maybe in the course of implementation. Then these were the specific objectives of what we're responding to, the overall goal. Then we had the farmer recruitment strategy, code of conduct, CSA training programs, just want to deliver climate smart agriculture training, then post-harvest management. I don't know why Broken is not responding. So the importance of an inception report. As we said earlier, it builds confidence, assures the client that the hire team has the technical expertise and qualifications. It opens space for adjustment. It gives opportunity to refine methods, reporting formats, source use, because you might put something in your inception report and maybe the client wants you to report in a different way. It promotes transparency, demonstrates professionalism, and proves experience. Because as we said earlier that...
Ronald, you're left with 5 minutes.
Okay. Then the practical uses. It's a roadmap. It's a performance baseline. It's a scope control tool because it ensures deliverables stay within agreed budgets. It's a communication reference. It's a reference point for all deliverables. Then it's a contract execution bridge. Approval gives the green light to begin. Okay. As we said earlier, once the client approves your inception report, it's a green light for you to start. And then it's a risk and mitigation and data collection. So anticipated risks have mitigation strategies and data tools. So are defined in the inception report. Then the risks, a risk register. Here we're trying to look at the risks that we're anticipating as we were responding to the terms of reference. And these were the risks we're trying to anticipate. DFCD, that's the Dutch Fund Climate and Development compliance issues with likelihood. It was low, impact it was high, because it was, one of the high things they wanted, because once it happened, that means the impact was high. Maybe you might have issues with them. The capacity gaps, you realize the likelihood might be high, impact also high. Gender inclusion gaps, medium, high. So, and the mitigation strategies, these were included in the. Then here, the cross-cutting issues in our report we had the gender and social inclusion, environmental compliance, ethical compliance, and anti-bribery, because they wanted code of conduct embeds DFCD compliance and anti-bribery principles. Then the climate smart agriculture. Then we're looking how the inception report guides implementation. One is it shows that you have analyzed the terms of reference. Okay. Then when you submit the inception report, you have submitted and approved by the client. That means that it activates the next stage, that is the work plan. Okay. And once the work plan is activated, there's field execution. You do the farmer recruitment and capacity building. Then after that, you will monitor and report. Milestones are measured against the inception plan. That's how the inception report guides implementation. Okay. And the key implementation guides in our consultancy was farmer identification, capacity building, performance tracking, payments, and closure. Then our conclusion here was the foundation for inception report is the foundation for successful consultancy. So it sets the tone for implementation, confirms that the consultant has understood what is expected, and ensures alignment with the organization's objectives. So it is a document that transforms a contract into a credible, structured, and accountable consultancy program, building trust, preventing scope creep, and ultimately delivering farmers equipped to meet international produce standards. So it confirms understanding, refines methodology, manages risks, drives accountability, and builds client trust. That's our presentation for inception report. If any colleague of mine has anything to add on what I may have not explained very well, or to add another thing, please. My colleagues on call, and any questions are welcome.
Thank you, Ronald. I don't have anything to add. You presented it all. Unless we have, let me just check it. We don't have any hands up as well. Yes, please go on.
Yes, CP, I didn't put my hand, but sorry. Ronald, thank you for the presentation. I'm a member of this group, but what I wanted to emphasize is that the inception report is a document that we all ought to take care of because of key issues. One, the implementation plan. There are key aspects that you must take care of when you are developing the implementation plan that is likely to project your work for a very long period of time that you may find it costly to implement or make it short and yet you fail to meet the quality expected out of you. And also when you are preparing this inception report, you must understand the objectives of the engagement that will be able to direct you to get the most required expertise and the skills you need to implement the project. And you should not forget about cross-cutting issues. Today, they cut across all projects, whether you're engineering, whether you are into social projects, whether in agriculture, everywhere, there are cross-cutting issues to do with the environment, to do with the gender, to do with the social welfare, and they must be catered for when you are preparing these inception reports. None of that, then your inception report will be bounced back for review with the comments, and the more you take time to review your inception report, the more time you are wasting, and the more you lose track and you lose confidence of your client who has hired you. Thank you. That's all I wanted to add.
Thank you, Godfrey. Yes, Samuel, as the last group prepares, we have one more group left, and I'd request that you be patient, they finish as well, and then we have Doctor's final remarks on all groups. Yes, Samuel, over to you, and then as we have group 6. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Group 1, for the presentations. And Group 1 is almost like an inception group for us in this case. I have a question that goes to Group 1. Being inception report being one of the critical tool for a consultant before he implements anything. Could you kindly, okay, I was expecting actually maybe for you to discuss the quality of a good inception report, like what are the features what are the things that you need to touch base before, or maybe while you prepare the inception report so that it can be as a catchment.
I have not picked you properly. Repeat, what are the what?
Actually, this is what you have opened. What are the key or maybe the components that are found, the quality of a good inception report? What are the areas or what are the things that you have to ensure you put it?
But I think we discussed this, the key components of an inception report. And because to have a good inception report, you must have these components. And the other thing when you're doing an inception report is not written on stone that this is how it's supposed to be. It is how you are responding to the terms of reference that you have been given. But these are the core things that they expect you to have in an inception report. But your inception report should respond to the terms of reference. So you must understand the terms of reference before you start writing your inception report. But what we are putting here is just key components. But you can add something else based on what your terms of reference state. It's not written in stone that this is how it's supposed to be. But these are just the key components that they always expect in an inception report.
Yeah, maybe
That's
just
why,
to hold on.
That's
Well,
why
thank you.
that's why we said here how the inception report, how the doctor wanted us to show how the inception report guides implementation. Because the first step is always terms of reference analysis. The consultant reviews terms of reference. So once you have reviewed the terms of reference is when you will respond, you will write a good inception report. Okay. Viola, you can go ahead. You're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember we had drafted an inception report, only that here they have integrated it into the whole key components and then what is expected. But I think we have it in Word as well for some reason. Thank you. Thank you, Ronald. Let's have the last group before people start dozing. Team, I request for your patience. Let's have the last group and then we get doctor's comments. Group 6, are you there? Who is leading group 6? Group 6 members, are we here? Team, if you're not ready, feel free to let us know so that we move forward. Seems good. Group 6 is not ready. So we'll invite Doctor to give his general remarks and also as it pertains Group 6. Group 6.
Before you go to Doctor, isn't there any member on board, on call from Group 6? Because now, for them to come alone another time, we may not have the time.
Good evening, class.
Member.
Can you
Good
hear
evening,
me?
Doctor. Good evening. We can hear you these days. Right now, you are clear. Then now, not otherwise.
Yeah, thank you so much, colleagues, for the presentations. I've been listening, I've been keen, and I think I've really understood that some people have put time to do research, study, and be able to analyze what has been, taught. Because ideally, you can't call yourself a consultant when you're not able to discuss some of these issues, like the way you have been able to elaborate them. So to me, I think I don't have much other than giving you maybe key areas where these examinations will be set. I normally tell students that I set my exams from, from the same questions, which I will have given you scenario questions. They may not be the same scenarios, but they will be in the same areas. Terms of reference, inception report, a technical financial report, a CV. I'll bring that. I'll bring a question on the issues to do with a consultant report itself, and probably looking at a policy brief. Colleagues, I will not take a lot of your time. I can say time has really moved. I have to rest. I'm traveling up country. I lost someone. I don't know whether this is the class. Sometimes I will tell you I'm in a hospital. I think I used to coordinate with the president. So I lost one of those patients, and I will be traveling to Texas, specifically to Bukedia for that burial. So I need to rest. Much as I will have a driver to drive, I need also to rest. I hardly rest. Other than that, it's unfortunate Group 6 has not presented. So they become a liability to the entire class. Because if they have not presented their question, I don't know what to say, but I might make a decision to set a compulsory set question from their area, which has not been presented. So maybe the wise thing to do is for you to share the slides, share the notes, read the hard, ensure that you don't leave any of the areas out. For instance, we're looking at the terms of reference. A question will come on that. We're looking at the inspection report. A question will come on that. We're looking at a financial and a technical report. It will come. We're looking at a report. We're looking at a CV. It will come. We're looking at a policy brief. It will come. How many questions are those? Those are 6 questions. So out of those 6 questions, I'll have a compulsory question from the group that has stubbornly refused to present. That's Group 6. What was their question, Madam President? Are Group 6 members here?
Group 6, the question for Group 6 was about consultancy reports.
All right. No worries. I will see what to do. I don't know, they have not given us any excuse why they have refused to present, but it's okay. You can always take a, you know, is it a donkey or a camel to the well to drink water? But you may not force it to drink it. So I just want to conclude by saying thank you so much, colleagues, for everything you have done. I want to wish you people a nice evening, nice preparation as we come closer to the end of the semester. I'm wondering when these exams will be, because if they are so close, I can sit right now, set the exams and send them to the dean. When is this paper, consultant skills?
It is on the Sunday, it's around the 9th there, on the last day of our exams. Let me check.
Oh, that is 9th of August.
Yes, on the Sunday, yes, 9th of August at 2 p.m.
Today is the 23rd. I'm most likely going to come back, say, on a Sunday or a Monday, so I will be able to set my questions around that time. There are two people who have not been able to do the test. That's the second assignment. The class president sent me the names yesterday, but I think also one of the candidates sent me a message. You know, Utambu is a private university, and it has policies and systems. I cannot set any test called remedial test without instructions from above. So I'm waiting for that opportunity. If it's given to you people, well and good. If they say no, I can't force myself to give you any assignment. But be on standby, because you don't have marks there in the second assignment, which is the test. The rest, on average, people did very well, apart from, I think, 2 or 3 people who scored relatively low. But you know, the system is rigid. Even when we are setting remedial, it is for those who missed, not those who have attempted. In one of the modules I was teaching, somebody got 0.25. That's a quarter a mark. That was, I think, in research methods. I wonder what people come to do in class. And you know, that's the biggest class I have. I think there are 370 something students. But when I'm the largest number of it's around 158. But now when I wanted to finish, somebody has raised their hand. I don't know what is itching you. I thought you had exhausted your time. Can I finish? Then you can ask questions.
No, doctor, I was giving you time to finish, then I was coming later.
All
That's
right.
why I
Because I saw the hand persistently up. So what am I saying? We ought to focus. These programs are very important. You know, I'm doing 3 programs from different universities. And when I'm doing exams, I focus at getting 100%. I don't focus at a pass mark. A pass mark is 60. So one lecturer made a mistake and gave me 60 in one of the presentations. Presentation. It is called, the module is the scholarly writing and publication. So I called the lecturer. With me, I like students who are very open. I called the lecturer. He's actually a professor, and I asked him, Professor, thank you so much. I got my marks, but I think there's a mistake somewhere. He was laughing. Oh, Dr. Tuke, how's Utamu? He even knows I'm from Utamu. Because at one point in time, we hosted them in ICTM 25. And I was the one who was actually the director of ceremonies. So they came, 4 of them in their university, their paper is also there. Among the papers, yeah, I had 2 papers with my 2 students. So when I asked him, Prof, what happened? He told me, no, your presentation was okay. I told him, Prof, I think there's a problem somewhere. What's the problem? I said, well, I passed very well in my assignment 1 and assignment 2. Very well. What could have happened on exam? Because the exam was basically what you people have gone through now. You may not know that I've been assessing, but assess each of you individually. So that even if they say there are no exams, assess these students the way they are. There are people who have been in this class. They have never contributed anything. I know students who have been contributing. They keep quiet, and I don't know how the president this time like chose group 6 and gave them a very sensitive area, a consultancy report, and it is not presented. And that's the most important thing in any consultancy, and people are here quiet. So what does this man tell me? He said, I assessed you very well. It was publication and the scholarly writing. This is something I do on a daily basis. I take it for breakfast, lunch, and supper. I don't know that I told this class repeatedly, I'm a policeman, senior police officer. And in the police, my work, basically, I'm on the payroll of the Uganda police, or government of Uganda, because I have to do research, I have to be innovative, and I have to ensure that I analyze policy. So I call my office Rest in Peace, RIP. That is research, innovation, and policy. Then I'm the secretary of the Deputy Inspector General of Police on something related to what these people were examining us on. We are doing a police doctrine. So I asked the professor, Professor, what could have happened? Could there be any mistake? Politely, I was asking him. He said, no, you are the overall best. I told him, you gave me 26 out of 60. And that's the lowest mark I have earned in my life. He thought I was joking, was munching something. I told him, Professor, I know you may not take this serious, but your university gives us 14 days, either to appeal it or to see how this reassessment can be done. Yeah, I don't want to appeal. I'm only talking because what would have happened. The professor seemed to have realized I was going to take him home, and I want students like that. So I called him after I told him days are running. I don't know whether I will be given an opportunity. So I consult 2 students, my former students, who are now professors at that university. Because when I was coordinating the PhD program of full-time maths, I think I'm the smallest person among the students who benefited from that. So I really wanted to know what happened. The man told me, no, everything will be fine. I said, but this university is just a stone throw away from where I work. I didn't even get a border. I didn't even drive. I walked. And they wanted to have a one-on-one with me. The man dodges me. But he had been told by everyone that the brightest student that we have had in this university is that man. But we have seen him with the 80s, 90s, but there is an overall mark of a 60. No, it can't be to kill. So they had also discussed already. So I'm bringing this because I want you people to begin revising the way some of you do things and think, you know, you come as mediocres, you only want to pass. So I sat down with academic registrar. I told him, sir, my name is Tukei. I'm a police officer, but a student of the professor. This is my card. I didn't show them any other card because they have never given me their card. I told him my warrant card. I told him, I've not come to arrest anyone, but this is my official ID. I have a concern. My concern is one, and it's between me and you. You have ever been a student. Me, I'm not a mediocre student. I've sat for exam. And the exam was about talking, presentation. This is what I like doing. Even my organization knows me about that. What could have happened? You are the academic registrar. I'm not threatening anyone, but honestly, call the professor to order, let him give me my marks. What could have happened? So I'd also known they had taken the police there in the previous examination to, I don't know what is that, invigilation, invigilate exam. I've gotten that report. Told them I work hard. I don't cheat exam. But you find a student from a non-English speaking country getting a 90. How? Now in our group, you people have been in groups. I think the last group was having 6 people. We were 7 in our group. And out of the 7, I think I was the only Ugandan. But these guys were getting 90, 100. And what hurts me, colleagues, I'm telling you this because I want you to appreciate the fact that there are people who get marks just for nothing, and they're just there. Then you begin wondering, did they come to school just to lobby and get marks? Me, I don't favor anyone. I think normally the people I consider my special people are the president. Attendance, I give them 5 out of 5. Even right now, Viola has 5 out of 5 because I know he must be in class. Online participation, I give you 5 out of 5. And because you are mobilizing, you are doing a lot of work, I really want to ensure that you get those marks. Now, poor me, I'm the group leader presenting A to Z. And in our presentation, what would that do? It was research. This is what I take for breakfast, really. And I've been teaching research since 2003 in different institutions. In most cases, I don't need to open a book to teach research. No. Scholarly writing, I write. Right now, I have 87 articles pending publication. Because I don't have the money to publish. Research method was basically how to exams. I wish we could do it also here. You are supposed to present a proposal and become provivables. I got, I think, I don't know whether it was 100. Now, they tell us that there is a module that we are supposed to undertake, and the module is scholarly writing and publication. I said, well, they put us in groups. I was in group D, and there are so many groups because there are so many students in this university. So what do? I said, okay. They gave me to be the class, not the class president, but the group leader. Then I told them that, okay, since you have made me a group leader, what we're going to do, each person should present his or her proposal of the previous semester. Then we see if we can be able to produce articles from that. So one thing they did not know is that if I talk about a proposal, you have, say, 3 or 4 objectives. In each of these objectives, you can do an article. So I told them, each of us present an article, and I will also present my own. So we all presented in a group, and that is, I'm not telling you how you can be able to, bring brains together so that you can be able to share. So later on they say, now, Dr. Tuke, you are very far away. So I think what we need to do, we take your area. So we take now my article, which I developed from the first objective, and then we took it, first round, we beat the entire class, call it institution. And all of us were given equal marks. Everybody got, but the man presenting is one. Even when you tell these people, say, no, you are our leader, you present. Viola was here saying that not only one person should present, at least 2, 3. That's good leadership. But these guys would say, no, doctor, it is you. After all, you're already a doctor. Second assignment, the same thing. The third, the same thing. When the marks were being given, I was given 20. Continue thinking about that until they do something about it. 26 out of 60. When all the marks were computed, I got 60 out of 100. When I looked at my work, I said, why did I go wrong? Remember now, this one, there is nothing like marking that. No, it's about talking. He said, no, I just want another assessment. Get professors from your university, from any area. I want to meet them in a panel, and I want to come and make a presentation. Even right now, I told them, you can even call them now. I'm ready, I'm here. That guy told me, are you 2K who was writing about forensic police, blah, blah. I said, yes. He said, no, but your issue was even discussed in management. They said it was only you who never cheated exams, because they do what they call invigilated exams. I said, but why do you give me now 26 out of 60? I think a professor was called. I don't know how far they have gone, but of course I will pay the $100 and I will need a remark. And the remark is not any script that there is a script for marking. No. Me to come and present myself like this, and I begin talking to you about what I already know. Colleagues, being consultants is being knowledgeable, being skillful, being competent, and having the attitude and for you to be able to do work. This is what we want you to have. It's not about mastering work from AI and you come and present. No. Real world situation that can be presented. So what am I saying? I'm going to set practical questions, which are not basically, confined in one country. No. And I can even ask you from the perspective in your country, how would you handle such a situation? And that will be the question. So colleagues, having said that, my battery is warning, but all what I can say is that it has been nice. You have been a very nice class. You have not disturbed me. You have not given me any headache. Even during the time when I could struggle with my patients in the hospital, I could tell Viola, please, go on and do a discussion. I'm not well, and it has really stressed me. People who have seen me, they saw me losing a lot of weight, You transfer a patient from one hospital to the other, you are spending money not less than $1 million on daily basis. Then the patient dies. Very painful. So colleagues, having said that, unless there are serious questions, I want to end by saying, and I will repeat this, and I normally tell you where I set from, and I will tell you what I need. Don't leave out any question. I will set questions from 1, terms of reference, 2, inception report, 3, a consultancy report, 4, a technical report, 5, financial report, 6, I will set 1 from a CV, and 7, I will set another one from a policy brief, and maybe 1 from marketing. So expect around 80. I expect you 1, 2, 3, give an example, and 4, give a conclusion, and where you can try to even give recommendations. As simple as that. We only don't teach you because we want you to have very good marks when you can hardly do nothing. I don't know whether I've told this class of a lady I qualified with, in dentistry, but she could hardly extract a tooth without fracturing, But she was the most loved person because she was a lady, very beautiful. Everybody could admire her. But I used to tell that lady, excuse me, madam, much as you are the favorite, you can hardly do nothing. You are incompetent. You cannot become a good dentist. This is my private place. I operate and I see patients specifically on appointment. So colleagues, I want us to work together because I know some of you may not have met me or could have met. Normally when I come for invigilation is meant, this is the doctor to care. That kind of thing. I don't want you to meet me, then you begin pointing fingers. That man is a bad man. No. Do your part and I do mine. So again, for those students who miss the test, please, I'm still talking to academic register. Yesterday I was talking to the director. Is that a director? No, a DVC, Deputy Vice Chancellor, about this. Said no, we shall communicate. So you don't have to worry. Make sure you go ahead and get your, apply for your, what are they called? The work permits. Not work permits, what are those examination permits? Not work permits. Thank you. There was a question that somebody wanted to ask, or a suggestion or something, please. Go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's a pity for losing a dear one, first of all. And we are with you. Unfortunately, we are very far. And then hopefully one day we shall sit in the round table and share as colleagues in development, not as a professor and then student. We came to share knowledge, not to really actually do things undriven. So thank you, Doctor. At the beginning of the lecture, of the course, I told you I am doing masters in information systems, and what transpired and what triggered me to come and do this course unit. I need to do something or something more in consultancy. And without reawakening my knowledge, I cannot do much more than what I get from the colleagues. Knowledge is shared, not hidden. So what you've shared with us, the good experience is there. Your scenarios are so many. There are so many good professionals who cannot deliver. We interface them daily. And it is worse in the medical field where you find somebody takes a human life and professionally. But the person is awarded with all the good things of the world. Back to our course unit, I appreciate you so much. What you've given us is more than enough. For me, I've come not just on to learn, even if I get the least marks, but the knowledge I've got will help me do more things than what I will go with. Last time you talked about us working or sharing the group work as a group, as we did, and then maybe where need be some areas of correction, or maybe you would guide us in that aspect. But unfortunately, with your state of your situation at the moment, it is really a little hard. And as a human being, I felt it, and it is just a general concern, and it's not something so pressing, but we appreciate the guidance. What you said are what we expected. I remember one time when I was at UMI, we had similar things with one of our consultant doctor. He also said the same thing. You know them, I don't want to mention any name. Maybe if in our chat, sometimes I will share. Where we could say, today I'm here, you are here as consultants, participants. Tomorrow you are my employer, or I'm your employer. So that is the essence that our coming for this course is all about. And the dynamics of the world makes us to come for classwork. Otherwise, we would not really come for classwork. Thank you, Doctor. And we wish you all the best. May the Almighty God comfort you and the family. And please receive our condolences as the students of your class. Thank you. Thank you. I am done. Viola, Doctor seems to. I am done. Viola, can guide us.
Yeah, I think we lost Doctor.
The battery, as you said, it seems to have been used up. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you.
So my concern was on we had students whose names were not included in the first submission. And because we had already submitted this work, the others who joined late, if you remember, we had it into different groups. So I think I'll talk to Dr. later and see if we have to resubmit the work. I'm not sure whether the portal is open so that we include their names. So be mindful. I know most of us are here. Those who joined late, please ensure that you communicate to your group members so that your names are included. Otherwise, you may miss the marks at the end of the day. Because now the state doctor is in, it's more confusing. So let's make it easier for him as well. That is all that I wanted to communicate. I thought Yeah, doctor is back. So, doctor, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, I'm sorry. I was using my phone and it went off. I'm sorry. I couldn't sustain our discussion. I knew within a short time would, end the class, but it's okay. This is very important. I needed us to exhaust this so that when I go to rest, I know that we shall have exhausted what we required to discuss. Yeah, was that Dominic? You were sharing about something about knowledge. I think I picked something from that.
Dennis,
just not about. It's not about to. Yeah, okay. It's not about to. One thing I picked from you, well, you're appreciating us. It's not about to, coming to get 90s and 80s and, ideal at the end of the day, you walk with nothing. I keep telling people, I was also in UMI, by the way. A man who picked me from UMI is Professor Basheka. Professor Basheka has been my mentor all throughout. He's a man from West. Me, I come from the East. That man has made me who I am. Consultancy skills. This module, I told you these slides that I'm using, I've not changed any. These are slides. Maybe another thing you must know, even these objectives that people keep passing, it is him who set them. I didn't set them. I don't have time to set exams, especially these online ones. No, I keep bringing in the same thing. So the only difference is that what you are answering is different. Your question 1 is somebody's maybe question 10 or somebody's question 15, that kind of thing. And that's why people who even keep coming here say that man does not change those things. They keep coming because I don't actually target to fail anyone. Many people who fail my exams, I don't know whether they are any. They fail not because they want to pass. They just want to fail. Because first of all, this is a person, I have already told you I'm setting a question from terms of reference. Why don't you at least understand the components of a TOR? Understand the component of the inception report. Understand the component of a consultancy report. Understand the components of what I would call, maybe a financial report, a technical report, a CV, what are key issues. When you're marketing, what you need to market. And ideal at the end of the day, when you talk about a policy brief, what is it? I've mentioned everything. So for you to pass, you needed just to be in the class, like now this one. I'm briefing you. Those are the areas. If you see any question coming outside that, then you say this man is just a liar. So colleagues, what we need to do and what we need to agree on is that we are really colleagues. And I call you colleagues because I know you are going to be my bosses. I've been telling you I coordinated a PhD program and I'm the smallest person. All these guys are directors, wherever they are. I think the smallest person could be a principal in a university. But these guys are very big. When I meet them, so, oh, that guy made me who I am. Even when I go to the ministry, 2 are there, Ministry of Health. You go to who you find somebody is ED. Then they say, but you man, why don't you leave that institution? I said, if I left that institution, then you would not have become what you are. I said, it's not about leaving the institution. It is about sharing the knowledge. And sometimes people keep asking me, but how much do they pay you? I said, not about the money that I'm paying. No. It's about what impact I'm creating. I went to that university and I challenged that academic regulars and I told him, excuse me, Prof, I don't know what your title is, but I want to tell you the truth. I think it should now, 2005, maybe 2015, is when they wanted me to go to that institution to teach the same things that I'm being now taught about. I told them I cannot come and teach a master's in security studies just because I'm a policeman. No, I need to know what is being taught. And I can only do that by coming to study. So when I enrolled last year, they said, this man is serious. This man is supposed to be teaching this. Now he's coming as a student. I told them that's what I want. Utamu, the same thing. I came to Utamu when started teaching M&E when I already had very many other qualifications, including a PhD, if not two. Then they say, what do you want? I said, I want M&E. So that when I come and teach, I come and teach M&E. So colleagues, I don't want us to be looking at ourselves as enemies. You meet me, then you say, that man, that woman. But it's not also good just for me to give you marks just because I want to make you happy. No. I want you to prove that you deserve these marks. There are other modules people have been getting 100 out of 100. Research methods, M&E, evaluation of development policies, programs, whatever. Guys are getting 100. Then they say, but somebody called me and said, excuse me, sir, how does this student get these marks? I said, what is your concern? But there are also those who get 0. Because whereas every other person was getting 90s, 100, there was a person who got a 0.25. Why don't you ask me about that one? Why are you asking about the other one who is doing well? So colleagues, I know time is not on our side. The president, I think, has to say something. Viola, your hand is up. Over to you.
Thank you, Doctor. We appreciate your time, especially with what you've been through up to this time, that you've created time to be with us in class up to this moment. We'll keep you in our prayers.
Thank you.
I have one concern.
Yes.
About the students who joined late. Those who were not, whose names were not included in the first coursework that we submitted. So we're requesting that we resubmit the modified version, including their names, because their names are actually not in the first coursework that we had already submitted.
It's okay. You send me that, because I can decide to use that if these people, because now we're entering now to the CBE. CBE, colleagues, is a competency-based education. And we're not only looking at a lecturer giving information and students are sitting on the receiving end. So if that column is introduced, because I told them, but you people, me, I'm giving 3 assignments. Apart from the online presentation and these issues of visit, attendance, and so forth, why don't you create the 3rd column for another assignment? Then they said, no, for now, that's what we're doing. So we're still having a 40% coursework, then the 60% exams. So I'm still into consultation with them, but I believe we shall be able to get that. So resubmit the names of those who joined late. Thank you. I think there was another arm. Somebody want to say something.
Yes, Doctor.
I saw another hand somewhere. Yeah, go for it.
Well, thank you so much. The time is fast spent, and this might be one of the last class we are going to have with you. And
it's the last one. It's the last one.
Yes. Thank you.
It's the last class, yes.
Yes, and if God willingly accepts, then we shall all be next year when we shall be doing, I don't think it's next year, when we shall be doing our research, the final semester. Well, on behalf of myself and the rest of the team who are around, I would like to say, Doctor, you have been a remarkable lecturer for us. I, for one, have started with you right from the beginning of my course when I joined for my master program. And I keep asking myself, I wish we could have like 2 of Dr. Tukey. We would have been the best in this country. And most of people who are around the world who are joining the organization, joining the UTAMO, would really appreciate, So I just want to bring this to you that I wish we could emulate or imitate your knowledge and your competence and all the organizations that you have. We just don't know. I wish that in our language that we say being next to anthill made some animal looks like that anthill. If it would have been that way, we would have been very close to you every time and again. And then concerning the loss of your dear one, you're in our prayers. We pray for you. We stand with you. If the class president organize a list, then as the students, we can definitely see how we can reach our hands to support you. And we wish you the best of the time. And may you please stand with us. If you get us along the road, like you always say, I have your number. If any traffic person disturbs me, I'll call my number also.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm really
Thank
so
you.
grateful for that. And
Thank
we
you.
look forward to meeting you, Doctor. We really want to meet you, Doctor. I, for one,
Thank
want to
you.
shake your
Close
hand and say,
around.
Doctor. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the few things that I want to say. For all this time, you made what we are, and we are going to be so proud of you. I will be so proud of you. And that's all I have to say. Yalama noi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. Unless there is any other remark, I'm really humbled. I'm humbled by all what is spoken about me. And I feel privileged that, you can have positive students talking about you, but it's also possible that there are those who really say, but that man, that woman is not like the other one. In our setting, we normally say a right thing is a right thing, even if nobody does it. And a wrong thing is a wrong thing, even if every other person does it. I normally love meeting students. Then the student tells you, hey, I was in one of those hospitals. Actually, when I was in the Rubaga hospital, the ED there was my student, and I met her in Utamu. A reverend sister said, Dr. Grace saved the life of my dear ones. Even when the time came when they said, no, you are not, this patient cannot make it here. We do not have facilities. Referred. When I got there, I met 7 of my students, medical doctors. They were saying, Doctor, I know you cannot forget me. Said, no, I might not be able to remember you. What is your name? Then the person tells you that you came and taught us in Namilyango College some 10 years ago. We loved that. You must be Dr. Tukey. I said, yes, I am. You move on another list, it tells you, Dr. Tukey, aren't you the one? Said, I'm the one. It's normally good to meet people who actually appreciate you. And I feel humbled to be appreciated. Like I've always mentioned, we shall always continue to support each other. Of course, there are people who normally want to have this sweeping statement, like, I come from Bukede, and the former speaker is from Bukede, and we're almost coming from the same village. They say those Bukedians are thieves. Those are sweeping statements, not good. Chris Obore was arrested and said, those are the thieves. Said no. Somebody said he was from UMI. There is a man called Kareja, Professor Kareja. He's one of my professors. He used to say that there are only 3 people he loves from Teso. He said it's number 1, Tukey. Number 2 is Dr. Koche. Number 3, Chris Obore. Now, Chris Obore has issues. But the man said Chris Obore is this man. Why? Because he was also a student there. And when we were students, we were all students. But now, people are saying, those also are a problem. Okoche, Obore, Okwadi, that kind of thing. 3 O's is what the man chose from the other side. So, colleagues, having said that, all what we require to do is doing something right. Let's stop doing good things. And to me, I feel very proud that I'm still in Utamu. I think I'm the oldest, longest serving. I think the word is not oldest. The longest serving teaching academic staff in Utamu. Because I've been in Utamu from 2013 as a student and also as a staff. So I feel okay being in Utamu, much as sometimes we have challenges. Life is about challenges. We know how to fix them. So as an institution, you'll always forgive us where there are issues. But I wanted to make an announcement that this time around, because the other time people had a lot of issues, they said, no, this is not a quality of education that we expected. Yesterday, I was with the the principal. My principal is Dr. Upal, then Professor Koche, the VC, and the DVC. We went and looked for a very nice place where you people are going to do your exams from. So maybe with the time, because I've kept on also pushing that if other universities can examine people online, why don't we go online? I was one time, appointed as an acting principal in one of the universities in this country. And I told the proprietor that, my friend, these buildings, give it 10 years. They will be taken as a museum. That's what I was telling him. The man looked at me, called me. What did you say the other time? I told him I will repeat the same words. That where we're going now, it is e-learning. And the man made me the director of e-learning. And I enjoyed the money for some good 5 months. Was giving me that money. Because my contract with Utama had expired. So the 5 months I was getting my money. Good money, 13 million shillings a month. Which even the police was not giving me. Until he contradicted himself that, you see that man reading names. Said, who is he? That is a policeman. Then the minister asked, I hope that's not Dr. Tuke. He said, it's the one. How did you know that is the most educated guy we have around, but he wants to run away. The following day, they said, no, don't confirm his contract there. That man is running away, and that's how I lost the job. So, colleagues, thank you so much. Unless there is anything else, I want you to be active, be involved, belong to this institution, and I wish you success in your forthcoming exams. Remember, terms of reference is coming, inception report is coming, a consultancy report is coming, a technical report is coming, a financial report is coming, a policy brief is coming, a CV is coming, marketing is coming. Those are 7 numbers, if not 8. So if you have not recorded, I don't know, but all what I want to say is that see you over the top. In my language, you say Alamano. Kidari papedeke onikere. I will be traveling tomorrow to test for the body. Thank you. Yalamano.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah, submit for me that list, please, the new list.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alamano, Papa.
Yola. Hello.
Yes, Rachel.
I was asking Viola whether we shall have another discussion. If we could discuss these topics, it would be nice to bring us up to speed.
Let's discuss that on the WhatsApp group, Please.
It's okay. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
It's fine, Joanne. Good night.